wore for the Cobra?
I've worn this for a number of things, yes.
I think it was your June show at the Cobra.
I wore it for when I opened for this like pop punk band.
Yeah.
And I wore it to CMA Fest.
No, you got it at CMA Fest.
I did. I got it at CMA Fest last year. And, well, I did...
stuck.
I did wear it. It got stuck on my bracelet.
I just remember you coming out.
Katie,
I need I'm
help.
stuck.
I got...
It wasn't your bracelet. It was your shirt.
Oh, was it?
You had your, like, bejeweled shirt on and it got stuck on the jewels.
Oh.
You're like, removed it. Help.
I get to sit back and relax for this episode because it's Katie's turn to take the wheel.
For research.
To ask Jesus to take the wheel. Entertain me, bitch. Let's go.
Happy Pride. Sorry.
Jesus loves the game.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Who are I'm gonna piss off with that comment? I'm keeping it in too.
Okay. I don't think we have.
Happy Pride!
Also, hello.
Hello, welcome to the Music Lens podcast with me, Alex Allegra.
And Katie Fee.
Hello, everybody.
It is technically May when we're recording this. If we're
No, it's June. What are you talking about?
We're set in June early because this will come out in June.
Yes, it will.
Either before or after our CMA Fest special, depending on time.
And this is our gay special.
This is our.
How much tail is it?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I'm not putting makeup on because my face is very sunburnt at the
I
moment.
feel like it would hurt your face.
It does hurt my face. It's very moisturized, though. I put a lot of lotion on. But also, my foundation's also, like, ghost pale white at the moment, and it does not match this color, so... I don't know if you can see our guest, but he is here.
You might see his tail a little bit. Who knows?
No, I wanted to get it. So, you might be wondering what happened to our outfits and everything about us at the moment. Oh my god, my hair is not even down. It's in a bun today. Like, I really don't look cute for the podcast right now, do I?
You're fine.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Well, we started this podcast episode recording last time.
I don't remember what all banter we
This
had.
is part 2 because Katie and I had a very, very big heart-to-heart and needed to talk through some things, and now we're here. And I'm not going to say I'm tired in this episode, because when I edit this podcast, I realize I say I'm tired in every episode. I'm just a very busy person.
It's a thing.
But you know what? Today I was thinking, when I was thinking that, I was like, you know what though? I'm grateful to be this busy. I'm happy to be this busy. I'm a person that is like always overworking herself, but like I like that, you know? So, as much as I do really need a day of like sitting and reading my book and having nothing to do for like a good solid weekend, like long weekend, like 3 days, because you know that first day is like you gotta rest up, then the second day you actually get to enjoy it, and then the third day is like your mental reset, you know? Yeah. But it's okay. Our last long weekend, I have a lot of stories to tell. But yes, let's talk about the fact that my face is very sunburned. Not because of the music festival I went to. No. Even though I did spend all day in the sun. No, I am burnt because of Memorial Day swimming at the pool. So that is why I look like this, actually.
Yeah. Do we need... Because I don't know what's being kept in from the first part, so I'm like...
I don't either, but we'll
what?
just...
Did we need a welcome? Or did we do that already?
Hi, welcome to the Music Lens podcast with Alex Allegra
and Katie Fee.
And maybe Ant. I don't know what angles you're getting of this dog right now, so... Come here, Bubs. Ant. Here.
Lay down.
He's really testing us at the moment. He has watched his mother through a lot of emotions today, so he's been with me all day, so... Now he's in cat mode for some reason.
He's been smelling things.
Okay, well. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride! So this will either be before or after CMA Fest content, so... If it's before, then you'll have that to look forward to. If it's after, did you like it? Leave it in the comments below. Yeah. We're gonna try some fun little different type of episode for CMA Fest content. So
Yeah. But
we're gonna manifest that went really well since we're speaking into the future.
But let's also talk about our past weekend and catch up a little bit, because I don't think there was before I edited it, it was 4 minutes of content, so it probably wasn't a lot that we talked through.
I don't remember.
So I was supposed to have, the reason my hair is in a bun too, and it looks really gross, is because I was supposed to get it done on Sunday, and then an hour before the appointment, they canceled it.
Oh, fun.
So now my hair is still multicolored, and I'm just trying to get it back to like normal, and it's just gross right now. My split ends need to be cut off. My hair is just not looking great right now, and I take very good care of my hair. I pride myself in that. So it's just like, Aunt, don't eat that.
The look he's giving her.
But I will say the highlight of my weekend. So I went to Gazebo Festival for work, but also I just got to enjoy myself and see SZA perform on Saturday. But then they canceled it on Sunday because it got rained out, which was fine. So
there's some pretty bad storms Sunday, so that's for the better.
But
for
Saturday, I went up to Gazebo Festival, which is Jack Harlow's thing, which I wanted to talk about in general too. Maybe I'll save that for the next. Oh, I'll do it this episode.
Okay.
Because it was actually really cool. He was just driving around in a little golf cart the whole time. Like, he saw every performance for everybody, which I thought was just cool because he hosted it, because apparently Louisville's his hometown. So he put it on for, like, a hometown reunion show.
Fun.
And he was, like, supporting everybody. And I was like, and my boyfriend was like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. But I'm like, I feel like there are plenty of artists that would have done something like that and not stayed for the whole festival.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool.
Yeah.
SZA's performance was amazing. I'll have a mental health update about the whole thing too, because there was some very rude people. And then, but I had a good time overall. It was very hot. I don't know how I didn't get sunburnt from that. And I got sunburnt from laying in the pool. But, but I got a rental car because my car is really messed up right now. I got the sweetest little Mustang.
Oh,
I
you got a Mustang.
It was a free upgrade. They said, do you want a sports car? I said, sure, I'll take a sports car.
Okay.
Because they didn't have any standard cars at Enterprise. And she was like, do you want the blue one or the white one? And I said, I'll take the white one. And she was like, you don't want the drop top? I'm like, no, it's going to rain. I don't want to deal with it. Or else I would totally have taken the drop top too. But I'm driving around in this 2022, like 2023 maybe. It was like a brand new model. I'm like, what year are we in? 2023 Ford Mustang white sports 2-door. Like, it was gorgeous. And I was like, how do I keep this car? Like, Brayden was like, you should have asked them how much it was, because there was some wear and tear on the front and back bumpers. Okay. And I was like, I'd take this car. I was loving life. I wanted to do a photo shoot with it. We should get an Enterprise car just to take a photo shoot.
Just get a photo shoot with.
Yeah, because I have
that's actually a good idea. Because I know, like, people will go on the Yup Facebook group and, like, look for specific cars if they have a specific, like, lyric for a car and they need it for a video. Yeah. I think a lot of people do more vintage, but Enterprise would be good for just, like, fancy cars.
We have a discount code for my work for leisure, like, for friends and family. So,
wow,
that's fine.
Yeah. You want to know what happened to Sam today?
What?
He he entered this contest for a truck, I guess. But he watches their YouTube videos. It's some YouTube channel that does this, and he watched them packing orders because they put they put cash in orders, and he's like, they put $1,000 in a box of something that was like the exact thing I ordered. He got $1,000.
What the
cash?
Fuck?
So
I'm not that lucky.
He hasn't decided what he's gonna do with it yet, but
donate it to the Music Lens podcast.
Originally he thought like a TV, and then spend the rest on renting a dumpster to get the rest of the stuff out of the garage that doesn't belong to us, but
okay, hold on.
We're gonna have to pause. I'm trying to ignore him to see if he'll stop, but
okay. I said he's allowed back in if he stops barking at me while I'm recording.
Yeah, he was interrupting my story.
He was chilling with me outside today.
Got a brother for him. His name's Clark.
He does need a brother, but
his
not
name's
yet.
Clark.
Apparently littermate syndrome can happen if you've only had a dog for like 6 months still, and I know we're past that, but like I want to have him for at least a year so that littermate syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like when they either get like really closely bonded to the point where like they'll have behavioral issues like with other people or like other dogs, like they're just like super bonded, or like you can't ever separate them, kind of a thing, because they'll have like bad separation anxiety. Even like going to the vet or something like that can cause a lot of behavioral problems with the other dog that's not with the other dog, like or you could have the exact opposite and like they'll have a really bad reaction to each other, kind of a thing. So it's best to get your dogs not separately at the same time, so that or like it just causes a lot of like jealousy and stuff with and the other two dogs. So
anything else?
No, I have a lot of other stories that I'll tell.
We're gonna save for another one since we're recording so many of them. Okay. I did not refresh my memory on what all I have before this, so we'll see how this goes. But happy Pride.
Tis Pride.
Tis Pride. So, I tried to do research in the way that I did for our Women's Month episode. There's not that many statistics
which is our
I could find.
rated one. So, like, if any men out there are trying to say that women don't know what to do or talk about, hello. Bitches be getting views. Sorry. I am in some kind of mood. That's all I'm saying today.
Okay. So I was trying to find like stats because I really liked how for the women's ones we were able to like do the statistics of like female artists and all that stuff. I couldn't really find anything, and a lot of it was like UK based, and I wanted like American based just because I feel like we focus mainly on like US music industry. So there was like a lot of specific to UK. I found one that's still UK, but it also mentions like globally. So this is the only statistic I have. So I feel like this is really random compared to the rest of this stuff. But I just still wanted to have some type of thing. So in the UK, approximately 5% of people openly identify as LGBTQ+, while globally, surveys suggest that around 10% of people identify.
Just in general, or
just in general?
That seems so low.
It seems like very low. But I guess identifying is, I don't know.
Maybe like on those, like, you know how when you like apply for jobs and stuff like that and you have to like tick off the boxes, or like, because a lot of people just like prefer not to say, or like that kind of stuff.
So a lot of people get like thrown out like of the statistic of they're not counted in the numbers, I guess. And then notably within the top 50 monthly most listened artists on Spotify, and this article is May of 2023, so it's about a year old. Around 12% of those most listened to artists are identified as LGBTQ+, and that's for both UK and global. Nope, that's not what the sentence says. That's above both the UK and the global averages. So I just thought it was interesting that like artists are above the average of just the general population.
Oh, that doesn't
but it makes sense. Me at all. It's interesting, but it makes sense. Yeah.
Somebody had said it was like maybe because like arts and like creative people are like more in tune with like accepting and like opening themselves up to things. So then like they're easier to like identify with those types of things, just because not that like the arts turn you gay, but it's just like they're more in touch with themselves and like are able to identify as something, period.
I'm gonna see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the article.
Straight, but also not. So
no, I'm not gonna be able to find the article quick enough. There was a blog. I can remember the blog's name, but I can't find the post very quickly. There was one I wanted to include. I really wanted to like it, and then it kind of felt like they were just repeating themselves and like saying the same thing over and over again. Like the intro was like, oh, this sounds promising, but then the rest of it felt like it was just the intro repeated, but in different words, like a try and fill your word count of an essay type of way. But they did have like stuff about how music is such a great outlet for expressing yourself, so maybe that also is why the percentage is higher, just because music is such a good avenue for expression.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, that's the only stat that I could find. And I'm just like, why? Well, that, and also I limited it to trying to find like more current stuff, because there was stuff that was like 10 years old and things like that. I'm like, that's not going to be relevant for today, because I'm sure that the stats are so different compared to 10 years ago. So.
Well, we haven't really had a big like movement type thing, like, because obviously, like, you know, Pride happens every year, and like, but the last like big movement type thing I feel for like the LGBT plus community was with gay marriage being legalized, which was back in like 2013.
Yeah, I mean, there was like,
at this point, so it's well over 10 years, but it's,
I was gonna say, like, I don't know, call it like a micro movement compared to that of like all the stuff that was happening last year for like drag queens and stuff. But that's not, I feel like the gay marriage thing was bigger comparatively. I mean, I might be wrong, but it just feels like that was very quick.
It did feel
it like went up, and or like it was a big thing in the news and socials and stuff, but for a little amount of time.
Bring it back into like
fighting
for it. But well, I also don't know if like, well, yeah, because that was a big thing with like, because it started with like women's rights and Roe v. Wade, and then like the drag queen stuff happened, and then like it was so I think it's just unfortunately got moved along, and probably still needs to be brought to a lot of people's attention, you know, and talked about a lot more. Maybe
because it's not like the problem resolved.
In October of this past year or a year ago, because we went to that show.
Was
at
that
Bridgestone.
In October? I thought it was in like March of last year or something.
See, and also time just felt like it went so fast. What the hell?
Yeah, like it's not like the problem was resolved and went away. Like obviously discrimination and prejudice and all that is still happening.
That the laws were changed in Tennessee specifically.
Yeah, so it's definitely still an issue.
But also, like, they said all of that stuff, but then yet I still see a lot of drag and stuff like that. So it just felt like nothing actually.
I don't remember
like
what it was.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah.
But it got scary there for a minute. Like, we were attending all of these
we went to
shows and fundraiser type things to like show support, and it was genuinely a very scary moment. Just
there were like protesters outside Bridgestone.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Find something better to do with your time.
Yeah. I remember just even going downtown for something oh gosh, was I with you or Jamie? I might have been with Jamie, and we were just walking down to get lunch at 5th and Broadway, and there was like...
It's probably Jamie then.
Yeah, there was just a bunch of protesters outside just there, and like the cops on their horses... On their horsies, but I was trying to keep it serious. On their horses just were like trying to break it up because they started getting like a little violent and like started like having fist fights and stuff right there. And it was just like... it could have gotten out of hand really fast, and it was just like, it was scary. So
yeah, I'm lost my thought because I'm like, how did we get here? But I think we were talking about
gay.
Well, yeah, I figured that part.
I don't remember how we got there.
Oh, like the statistics changing. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So I ended up basically just through research, the best thing I could find as far as like trying to put together some sort of still music related episode for Pride was literally, there is a Wikipedia page called LGBT music, and there's like a history on it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go with that for what we're gonna do today. I also have some stuff at the end of like country, just because Nashville, I guess. And then you mentioned, and we'll have that at the end too, of some stuff in town for different showcases and writers' rounds. Just kind of laid out I guess I gave a little outline of what we're doing. Not that we needed it, but it's fine. That's what I'm doing because I'm trying to remind myself what I'm about to say. So this really all is history. I think if I'm remembering right on the page, this is kind of like this is the origin, and then it kind of goes decades wise. So this is...
We got 2 history episodes really for you guys back to back, because Well, it's important.
It's important.
Well, this was important. The other one was just for funs and history. Funsy history.
All right, so we're starting with the turn of the 20th century. So German sexologists around the turn of the 20th century indirectly revealed that homosexuals were abundant in the music field and profession. The associated taboos regarding homosexuality and the large amount of homosexuals in music at this time led to the development of the idea of music being a method for expression transcending ordinary life. So there we go. We're talking about expression.
Transcending ordinary life. I liked that.
Yeah. And then early Black queer artists included Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith, who recorded overtly lesbian songs in the 1920s, as well as Little Richard in the late 1950s with the hit song Tutti Frutti as a homosexual reference.
I knew it was going to be that song. I love those songs.
But one that was covert enough to be plausibly denied. These artists were not only part of the LGBTQ plus community, but were also Black, and as such would receive intersectionalized oppressions from both of these facets of their identities. Regarding classical music, American composer Leonard Bernstein had many homosexual relations.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Often with other musicians and composers, despite being in a heterosexual marriage.
Oh.
Ooh. Many artists...
Infidelity we do not stand.
No. Many artists like Bernstein, Stephen Sondheim, is that how you say it? Okay. And more were subject to hiding their sexual identities.
Who Sondheim is?
I do, but I've never heard his name pronounced, I think.
I was gonna say, if you don't know, I know who he is.
Yeah. Where did I finish talking? Were subject to hiding their sexual identities from the public, while the entertainment industry now more openly discusses the role of gender identity both in the press and within music compositions. There is still reticence for many in the business to advocate for LGBTQ plus acceptance. So that's kind of like earlier history. And then we go into pre-1970s and then the 1970s, because apparently that's all one category for how they organized it. Beginning in Europe and making their way over to America, discotheques were dance clubs where pre-recorded music rather than live music was the main focus. Originating from France and Germany during World War II, where young people met in basements to dance to American swing music, as the Nazis had banned jazz, bebop music, and jitterbug dancing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. The concept and culture of disco made its way to the U.S. by late 1960s and early 1970s. In these clubs, disco became the pulse of gay liberation on and off the dance floor in the post-Stonewall, pre-AIDS 1970s. In later years, the mass popularity and integration of this counterculture into the mainstream culture reflected yet another infusion of homosexual subculture into the cultural mainstream. I just think of, like, Bohemian Rhapsody, where they have those scenes of Freddie Mercury going into the clubs and like, what?
Did you shake your foot? The whole fucking couch just moved.
I don't think so.
I did not like that.
I don't remember shaking.
Yes, whatever the fuck you just did, don't do that again. Did not like that.
Anyways, Freddie Mercury.
I was gonna say the big orgy scene in the movie.
I think that was Rocket Man.
Oh.
They're partially directed by the same person, because the Bo Rap, the original director, got fired, I think, and then the other one took over or something.
Oh yeah, he just had all the coke scenes in his house.
But I remember, like, when I think it was, I don't know if it was when they were on tour in America, but it was like, I think when they were on tour, and then he would go to clubs after his shows or something like that. Oh. I don't know. I need to rewatch that movie. It's like my favorite, and I forget it.
Both of them,
apparently, because I'm mixing them up. Well, also they both have the same manager and all that stuff, so they're very similar stories. Obviously, a different actor plays
secret gay men in each one too.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
You didn't know. Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler
but it's alert. It's literally based off of real people. So
spoiler alert, Elton John is gay. This just in.
I thought you meant the what's his face in Bo Rap, that like it's John Reed's assistant or whoever that like came on to Freddie.
Oh.
Because you said secret, so I thought you meant him.
No, I meant the main characters are both secretly gay, and then they come out by the end of the movies. Okay. Hence real life.
Where are we? obviously getting distracted. It's fine. The sexual revolution and associated revolutions of the 1960s, the counterculture started to be brought. I feel like that's not a proper sentence. I'm confused. Okay. Counterculture started to be brought to the mainstream attention, and in these revolutions, gender and sexuality became less rigid and more fluid, as evidenced, here we go, in the performances of musicians like Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, Grace Jones, and Prince. So there's Freddie.
And Elton John.
And
let's not forget him.
Was he there yet?
In the 70s?
60s.
Oh.
Wait. Hang on.
Because I was going to say the 70s was his first. I remember when rock was young. Bing and Susie had so much fun. And that's when the Muppets were on. And he was on the Muppets. And those were my favorite episodes of the Muppets. That and Liberace, who is also a gay man. Do you know who Liberace is, Katie?
I've heard the name. I'm just trying to figure out why my sentence made no sense, and I'm like, maybe
it did make sense. I don't know why you're thinking it didn't.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still in the 70s or pre-70s. I think we're 70s.
Queen would not be in the 60s.
That's why I got confused. Though disco's foundation lies in inclusivity after... There's 2 N's in a row. I was struggling. After the success of Saturday Night Fever, its commercial success led to the genre shifting from predominantly black and queer people to white Americans securing a spot for them in the genre sphere. The influx of upper middle class white Americans finding success in disco led to several queer people showing oh my god, I can't talk today. Animosity towards the genre, believing its capitalistic success tore disco away from what made it culturally revolutionary.
I'm trying to think of like straight white people that did disco. Was ABBA?
I think ABBA was mentioned in something I saw.
ABBA screams gay though to me.
I know. Well, I was trying to find a list of similar to what we did for women, where it's like a list of like gay musicians or queer musicians, and I feel like ABBA, I don't know if they are, but it also mentioned like just like queer icons, even if they themselves aren't.
Yeah, that's
and so like it mentions
ABBA
like Dolly
and yeah,
and I think ABBA was on there. No, I don't
and
know.
Shania.
Yeah.
And Celine
Shania wasn't
Dion.
mentioned, but I was like, you're forgetting Shania. Well, when I
Let's Go Girls is the call to all the gays and theys. Let's be real
I literally
here.
just Googled ABBA queer icon, and the first article title says how ABBA became beloved gay icons. So, yeah, I mean, Dancing Queen, so... I think, yeah, they qualify. Even if they aren't themselves, they are still icon.
But I meant like straight white people singing the music.
Oh, yeah.
So yes.
But it seems
because
like they would be
everyone
accepted,
in disco
though,
that, like,
versus like they're saying like people are going
like,
away from it.
In my mind, well, maybe they weren't at the time. That's what I'm saying. Because in my mind, I thought disco, I thought Diana Ross, and I thought Donna Summer, and I thought gay as Elton John and Liberace and Freddie and
ABBA, Bee Gees. Let's just move on because that's gonna take a while to research stuff like that. The glam rock scene, still in the 70s here. Glam rock, which I think you mentioned in the LA history, and I had to like be quiet because I'm like, I have glam rock stuff.
I said one line about glam rock.
I don't know, but I was like, we're gonna talk more. Included numerous bisexual musicians, including Queen's Freddie, stop, I'm struggling so much. Freddie Mercury, Elton John, and David Bowie. Medium's Claudia Perry felt that glam rock was a queer paradise of sorts. Watching Mick Ronson and Bowie frolic on stage gave hope to every queer kid in the world. John's flamboyancy was also of great comfort. Glam rock also helped to normalize androgynous fashion. Tim Bowers of New York Times recalls that glam's vocals had a fruity theatricality, supporting lyrics, and presented as a boast. Your mother can't tell if you're a boy or a girl. Glam was butch and femme at once, bisexuality in sound. So, yeah, I think that makes sense, thinking of like all of Elton John and Freddie Mercury and all of their outfits and stuff.
I just liked what was the fruity line?
Fruity theatricality.
Fruity theatricality.
That's how they describe glam rock's vocals.
Love it.
I mean, Bo Rap is like rock opera.
Yeah.
So that makes sense because theater with the
No,
opera
I know.
and
I
stuff.
just thought it was
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go into the 1980s. 1980 saw increased exposure to LGBTQ plus culture, namely gender bending and cross-dressing in the music industry, with artists such as Culture Club, George Michael, and Wham. I can't say Wham without going, Wham! Because isn't that Deadpool says it like that? So I just think of that. Wham! Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Melissa Etheridge, Pet Shop Boys, Dead or Alive, Erasure, Creation, and the Drag Queen Divine.
Now, how many of those bands did you know, Katie?
I've heard of Culture Club, Wham, George Michael, and Melissa Etheridge. Yeah, that's who I know out of that list. There's a large queer community that existed in electronic and dance music during the 80s. These genres of music were often played in underground queer clubs in many cities such as LA and New York. Music videos began to allude to LGBTQ plus relationships, which included Bronski Beats' Small Town Boy, Pet Shop Boys' Domino Dancing, and Madonna's Vogue. Vogue is the only one I know, if you want to ask me that every time.
I just know a lot more artists than Katie does sometimes, so it's funny.
Yeah. Disco culture of the 70s and 80s is directly associated with queer musicians, which I think we already kind of talked about. Sexual and gender fluidity... Take a shot every time I mess up a word. Fluidity has become increasingly visible, leading to artists such as David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, and Prince to exist in unique ways that push the boundaries of gender and sexuality. The ambiguity and fluidity of these artists help to create a safe space for queer people. Also popular within the LGBTQ plus community was post-disco dance music such as Italo disco, house music, high NRG, and freestyle. During the 1980s, this music became more prevalent in the US, and LGBTQ plus artists gained prominence. I skipped the 90s because there wasn't that much, and I skipped it.
Okay.
So we're going to the 2000s, which says the 2000s saw...
like the 90s had plenty.
There was a very small thing, and I was like, do we need any of this?
Okay.
Because it felt like it was like, I went to it now, kept talking about like the androgyny and stuff like that. I was like, this feels like we're just kind of repeating stuff we've already talked about.
Okay.
So 2000s saw LGBTQ plus music branch off into its own genre, and new artists like Lady Gaga, Christina Aguilera, RuPaul, Adam Lambert, Neon Trees, and Miley Cyrus supported a growing industry spreading the message of equality and positivity. And I don't know why, I read that and it says like branch off into its own genre, aka JoJo Siwa, you did not create a new genre. It's been here, honey.
AKA gay pop has been here.
Have you not heard of Elton John? Like, that's all they have for 2000s. And then they go into 2010s. Country singer Shelley Wright faced death threats and declining record sales after coming out in 2010. She made Wish Me Away, a documentary about her experience, and it won several major awards in 2012, including trophies from the Los Angeles Film Festival, the Seattle LGBT Festival, and the Tallgrass Film Festival.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that movie, though.
No, I haven't. I've heard of her.
I haven't even heard of her.
But, I mean, I think that's unfortunately the only thing I've heard of her was that she came out and it was not taken well. And I don't really know any of her music.
So it's obviously, like, a bigger deal now that some of these artists in country music have been able to
It just sucks that, like, that's the only thing I could think of when I think of her is, like, her music got overshadowed by this and it shouldn't. So...
But maybe it was important to lead the way for the next generation of stuff.
Yeah. It's just, you should not be getting death threats over that.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
And that should not cause your career to basically go away. So it's just unfortunate. Social media platforms like YouTube, Tumblr, and Instagram establish new ways for queer artists to share their music. These sites allow artists to upload the music on their own without the need of a music label. Music labels can sometimes prevent artists from releasing music that details their queer experience. In 2013, I didn't like how I said that. In 2013, a year before releasing his debut EP, do you spell that out? TRXYE? Do you spell it out by spelling the letters or pronounce it by spelling the letters? Do you know?
Oh, for the I forget how the EP is said.
But it's Troye Sivan released a coming out video on his YouTube channel. This video allowed Sivan to share his identity without risking his budding music career. Since then, Sivan has achieved great success and has established himself as a prominent artist in queer music. For many decades, queer artists have been told that if they come out, their careers will be over. The self-publishing features of social media have allowed queer artists to share their music while also being open about their identities without having to risk their careers.
Here is my thing about that. Is in this day and age, it's so hard to think that people are still getting that advice, because if I was a manager or a publisher and my art... Now, maybe this is the wrong way to think about it, and I'm sorry if it is, but if my artist came to me and was like, I'm gay, I would be like, we struck a landmine. Like, now we have a whole new image to promote. Like, and I would take it in stride. And maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, too, from the exploitation of it all. Like, right. I get that, too, because as a gay artist, you're not there just to be exploited. I totally get that, too.
You were very much peeking.
Shit. Okay. I'll move away. I get that you're not there just to be exploited, but I mean, also as a musician in general, you're always being exploited for every little thing that you do. If you were straight, you'd be exploited in the opposite direction as well. You'd be exploited for, like, if you're a guy, you're handsome and you're up on stage and you're getting all the girls, but then it's like if you bounce it back and you're like, oh nope, actually I'm gay. You know, I get that maybe managers are like, oh well, we developed this fan base, but guess what, now you have the girls and the gays, because now you took the rest of them. Now you don't need the girls I mean, girls are still going to go after you, just in a different way this time, you know? It's not like it's a big deal, and now you get to open up to the guys too, so take it and run. You get more people. Just saying, there should be no reason why we're still on the 1800s way of thinking about things, that you're ruining your life, honey. Oh my god. I just don't get it. I really genuinely just don't understand how people can sit there and think that way. But
yeah, I feel like my thought is one that probably shouldn't be a podcast thing.
There is ex-country music star that is reported to be gay in this lovely little town.
I don't know if we just say, because I don't want to say a name because it is just rumor based and we don't know for sure, but I could see this one artist in country music who has a very Republican fan base, can I say that? Who probably, his fan base probably would not take it well if he were to come out, if it is true that he is gay. So I can understand being afraid to come out.
Honestly, though, with his age at this point, I would just want to live and be happy if I was him. Well, and not care.
For sure, but I do understand the fear behind it as well. Oh, we were talking about... We left off with 2013, Troye Sivan. Got it. I honestly don't... The only thing I know of him is... Didn't he come out as a special guest on the Reputation tour? Yes, that's the only reason I've heard of his name, to be honest. But
I like his early music, and I haven't jived so much lately, but...
But... You know me, I mainly listen to country, so if I don't know someone, it's not that big of a shock. So, yeah. 2020s. In recent years, there has been an increase in country musicians living out their queer identities publicly. Some may see this as the biggest change in the music industry due to the fact that country artists in the past have mostly been white, straight men. As of today, some of the top artists are openly queer country musicians. For example, Lil Nas X became a sensation when he released his country rap Old Town Road.
Here's the thing about that one, though, is I will say that country music did not accept him.
No.
And he is a pop artist now, and has really always kind of been, because no one else, like... well, but there was also some racial connotations to that as well, unfortunately.
Countries,
but they were like, oh no, he's a rap artist. But so it was a whole thing. And Billy Ray Cyrus, the whole reason he was on that was to try to say, no, it is a country song if it wants to be a country song. Like, so, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. But I'm including what's on the Wikipedia, but it is still, I feel like, mostly true. It's just the fact that you said of like, it wasn't perceived as country to some people. Alongside these openly queer country musicians, there's also been a larger number of country artists supporting the LGBT community. Artists like Garth Brooks, Carrie Underwood, Tim McGraw, Casey Musgraves, and Maren Morris, to name a few, have all come forward as allies for this community. I would say
Casey and Maren have a huge gay fan base.
Yeah. I was just going to say Luke Bryan as well, just because I think of most people are good. In the chorus, it straight up says, I believe you love who you love.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, well, he put his support in that song too. So that would be another one I would name. LGBT music is becoming more widespread as more queer artists are releasing music detailing their queer experience. Queer artists are sharing their personal stories about being queer through this music, which is helping to create a space in the music industry for queer listeners to identify with. And that was all of the history stuff.
I will say, as much as it is nice that Luke did do that, though, I will say people like Maren who attended the fundraiser we went for, and like they actively donate to the Trevor Project and stuff like that.
No, for sure.
So
just,
like
he definitely supports, but it's maybe not like as an activist as Maren is. And Casey,
which
and,
is why I
supporters.
think things like why we were talking about the fundraiser at the beginning of this episode is because it's like, it's one thing to say like, oh, I support, but then like going out and actively like, that's why I bought the ticket to go see everybody that night, because I wanted to actively support and like actually show.
And I think we donated like there was some donation thing as well where it was like, donate to
the Trevor Project.
Win upgraded tickets. Was it Trevor Project? Okay. And I was like, I don't care if I get upgraded tickets, but I'll still donate. And then I guess going along with the country stuff, I did find an article of just saying the 10 of the biggest allies in country music. This is from 3 years ago, though. There's only one update I have, but we'll go through it first. Brothers Osborne have long been known to preach equality, but gained a lot more attention when brother TJ came out as gay during recent interview with Time magazine. His brother John was the perfect example of an ally, speaking out immediately following TJ's news, sharing immense support for his brother along with all other members of the queer community.
Well, because I think they were one of the artists that were like, you're gonna ruin the band's reputation if you come out, kind of thing, right?
I've heard
or he was just
no, they were on a podcast
scared.
with like Stormy Warren, and they like,
well, and didn't
obviously John
Stormy
like
or Cody came out as gay, right?
Yeah, Cody's on here.
Cody,
I think, too.
Okay, sorry.
Stormy's married.
Yeah,
with children.
I just couldn't
that
remember which one, because I know it was one of the bigger hosts, and in my mind those are like the two top hosts that I hear about all the time. So I was like, it's one of them.
But I think they talked about it, and I hope I'm remembering right, because it's been a long time since I listened to their episode of Exit 209 podcast. But it was like, I don't remember when TJ came out to John, but it was like, we're gonna do it on TJ's terms, timeline wise and stuff, and didn't want it to affect their career. But I don't remember exactly what the thought process was of when to finally go ahead and come out. But I will say they have mentioned that other than Rum, which is one of their first songs that mentioned something about a girl, everything else has been like just completely like non-gender specific lyric wise for all of their songs, which I love. That is just like, it's not towards any gender, which I mean could have been his way of being like, okay, we're not gonna sing about girls, so I don't have to sing about girls while I'm still in the closet.
In country music still, and like they're one of like the big proofs of like, it doesn't.
Let's see, TJ's Truth broke barriers in country music world as he was the first male to identify as gay that is signed to a major label. So yeah, he's definitely.
I honestly forget because
right.
It's so
it's
like
because
it's not.
I mean, he has. I don't think they're engaged yet, but he has like a pretty serious boyfriend now and everything, and it's not a big deal because it shouldn't be.
Exactly. And that's what I meant by forget, is like it just doesn't register in my mind.
Like, and like it's definitely, it's important for there to be queer artists who are expressing that in music, so that way like queer listeners can feel seen and all that. But I also feel like that's up to each individual artist if they want to express that, and I feel like for them it's like you might not even know because they just don't make that a part of their music necessarily because of their like ambiguity of their lyrics being where they can be talking about anyone and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if that has anything honestly to do with their success of like
just broad appeal then. Like, a guy can listen to the song and think about a girl, or a girl can listen to the song and think about a guy or and a girl, just, like, or whoever. It doesn't matter.
Because there's still prejudices in country music and stuff, like, from listeners, I think, too. There's stuff, and maybe just because they're not bringing it up so much and making a big deal out of it, then people aren't... Because really what it comes down to is, like, people are uncomfortable for no reason, but, like... If people are uncomfortable.
The reason people get mad at artists like Maren and Casey is just because they're willing to bring it to the forefront of people's attention, and they don't want to talk about it, so they get mad at them instead.
Yeah. So it's like if you're not talking about it, then they're fine with you, I guess, or something. But I don't know. Casey is number 2, which we've talked about how she's such a big advocate and ally. Since beginning of her career, Casey has fearlessly preached her acceptance and support for the LGBTQ plus community, known for never holding back her thoughts and opinions on social media, like when she called out the Tennessee House Republicans for not honoring TJ Osborne because he's gay. I don't remember what that was, but okay. Musgraves has also used her music as a megaphone for acceptance. Songs like Rainbow and Follow Your Arrow speak directly to queer fans. I'm so dumb that I did not understand, or like just so I guess ignorant growing up of like the existence of queer people, I guess, of the lyric in Follow Your Arrow of like kiss lots of boys or kiss lots of girls. In my little brain I was like, okay, so she's like, okay, so the girls can kiss lots of boys and the boys can kiss lots of girls. She's talking to both guys and girls, of like mentioning both instead of like, oh no, like girls can kiss girls and guys
everybody
can kiss guys.
Whoever.
My brain didn't go there for some reason and didn't understand that, but probably just because it's
also the way it is worded. It is worded to be ambiguous because it's everybody kiss everybody if you want to. It doesn't matter.
I think just growing up with not many queer people in my high school and stuff, I think that's like 2014. Yeah, so probably early high school. Just like not having really anybody that was like out in high school. It didn't occur to me. But I'm just like, when I think about it now, because I'll sing that song at cover gigs and I'm like, I was so stupid.
Oh, I know.
Like, how did you, this just went over my head.
Well, that's why when I was growing up, it was always like, they play this on country radio, how scandalous of them. Like, that's their like big...
My only thing that I thought was scandalous was the joint part. Because I was like, oh, smoke a joint.
Like, oh, weed. Oh my goodness.
Brandi Clark is number 3. Singer-songwriter has found great courage in recent years to speak up about her sexuality, publicly identifying herself as lesbian. In honor of Pride Month this year, so this was 2021, Clark wrote an emotional open letter to honor Katie Lang, who Clark credits for being her role model as an openly gay musician. In the letter, Clark recognizes Lang for being a trailblazer and paving a way for artists like Clark. Brandi hopes her voice will be a comfort to others like Lang's was to her and help shape greater acceptance in the next generation. So, yay, Brandi. There's 2 Brandis.
Gonna say
there's another one, which is later,
and they are both BCs, which is always what confuses me too. I know their names are
different spelling for Brandi though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, okay. Brandi Clark's with a Y. Shane McAnally, well-known songwriter, established businessman in Nashville music scene. Shane McAnally is fearless leader of LGBTQ plus country community Not afraid
Shane
to use his
McAnally's
platform.
probably written every single one of your favorite country songs.
Yeah.
So if you think there's no gay influence in country music, think again.
Mm-hmm. Openly gay man with undeniable success and a family that wins over the hearts of fans everywhere, McAnally has an amazing ability to normalize LGBTQ plus culture in what is otherwise known as a conservative industry. McAnally legally wed his partner Michael Baum in 2017, and they share 2 children together, twins Dylan and Dash, which they are adorable. I don't see them much as far as like algorithm wise on social media anymore, but for a while my algorithm was like very much into showing me Shane's posts. And I was like, I love this. The only reason I wanted to do, or I found this one, and when I was like trying to search up like artists to do, I feel like this one's like maybe not as obvious necessarily of people, or like people that aren't like the forefront of your mind when you think queer artists, instead of just like mentioning Freddie Mercury and Elton John over and over again. Okay. So that's why I was like, let's do a country one. Dolly is number 5. Queen of country music is also the queen of equality. Dolly has long been known to support everyone embracing who they are and living their life to the fullest. Pardon is vocal about her beliefs and has even teased a gay dance album for fans. I didn't know that. For all those that say actions speak louder than words, Dolly entered a drag queen Dolly Parton lookalike contest and lost. How's that for a show of support? I knew that fact. I love that. But that's funny that they're like, we need to mention this.
I love her so much.
Oh, Dolly. 6 is Brooke Eden. I love Brooke Eden. She may be a newer artist, but Brooke Eden isn't afraid to make waves in country music in an effort to broaden its acceptance. After being told to hide her sexuality for many years, Eden made a bold move to come out as a lesbian through a music video for her song Got No Choice that showcased her real-life girlfriend, now wife, and she's carrying their child, Hillary Hoover, and their love story. Brooke held nothing back in the video as she embraced her partner, sharing on-screen kisses and tender embraces, showing her fans exactly where she stands. Eden and Hoover, who also works in the industry, announced engagement last month. Okay, well, we just said the update is that they're having a baby.
The update is that they are very much still together.
They did, I think, 2 different ceremonies, and one of them Trisha Yearwood officiated. Oh. And she was part of... like they sang at the Opry, and Trisha did She's in Love with the Girl instead of She's in Love with the Boy, with Brooke Eden singing too. So Trisha obviously is a big supporter as well, which is not, Garth is mentioned and Trisha is not, actually, because Garth is next.
Yeah.
But come to think of it, yeah, both of them are. So we don't know a single person who doesn't love and respect Garth Brooks is the first sentence. And in return, Garth has made it clear there isn't a single person he won't love and respect. Growing up with a gay half-sister, Betsy Smittle, supporting the LGBTQ plus community has never been a question for the country megastar. He's shown support in many ways. One of the most prestigious is through his 1992 We Shall Be Free, which sings, when we're free to love anyone we choose, when this world's big enough for all different views, when we can all worship from our own kind of pew, then we shall be free. Oh. I don't think I've heard that song, to be honest. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've listened to it. But I like those lyrics. Brandi Carlile. Country singer-songwriter and Americana musician Brandi Carlile has long been an inspiration for the LGBTQ plus community. As an openly gay musician, Carlile regularly uses her platform to encourage equality through sharing snapshots from her own life and her partner Katherine Shepard and their children, proving their love is no different than the love of a heterosexual couple. Carlile's most recent project was a book she titled Broken Horses, which I still haven't gotten back. Where she shares the details of her life from being a professional musician to motherhood and her sexuality. And then we got Marin, who, I guess at the time of this article, says arguably one of the most popular female musicians in country music. She since left country, but she's still very
didn't, though.
Famous. She didn't really.
She said it. She was like, no, they just don't want me, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Because I'm still going to make the music I'm going to make, and it's still going to be country music, but it's just not going to be labeled country because y'all are being ignorant. So,
yeah.
Bye.
Maren knows her power and is
she
all
does.
about using it for good.
Fuck yeah, she does.
Maren often expresses desires for country music to push past its comfort zone, and that includes broader representation of queer musicians and fans. She regularly works with queer musicians, typically one of the first to show support for fellow allies, and she was one of the first artists to publicly congratulate TJ Osborne of Brothers Osborne when he came out. And then the last one is Cody Allen. Also, you mentioned earlier. As a major TV and radio personality for CMT, Cody Allen, and he's, I think, morning show now for Sirius XM The Highway, because Stormy left, and he eventually, I think someone was in between them, but I'm pretty sure he's the morning now. Cody Allen already has a big old spotlight on his life. That spotlight got even brighter when Cody came out as gay in 2017 after struggling for years to accept it himself.
Yeah, Cody, I remember that one being such a shocking.
Yeah.
Because it just came so out of nowhere. Yeah.
Cody wrote a heartfelt letter to his many fans and peers in the country world with hopes they would continue to accept and support him. After the mostly encouraging reactions Cody received, he is now quick to return the support to other artists brave enough to share their truth, and is proud to represent the growing LGBTQ+ community within country music. So that was all of
There's definitely more people.
I would say Lily Rose is the one I could think of that could be like...
I just smacked my son's burn. But yes, she's somebody who I think deserves more recognition as well, because she's really like gone like and done a lot. Yet she's not walking the red carpets and stuff this year, so it's just like... I think
she's been to like CMT awards and stuff.
But I feel like she should have been a new artist represented. Like she could have been in some of these categories.
I don't know how she's doing radio wise yet. Maybe she doesn't have the radio chart wise to like, but I feel like she could in the next year or so probably get to that level.
That I don't think continues on this track either yet.
But she's not nominated for anything either, I don't think.
I feel like she just has a bigger spotlight still though. Like,
oh, I don't know. Well, also, I don't think I've never seen anything from Lily that outright like talks about being queer or anything. Like, it's obvious like she's married.
I was gonna say, yeah,
but like I think it's again with like TJ, how it's like kind of like shares personal life on socials and obviously can sing about stuff, but like other than that, it's not like every single thing that they post is about that. So maybe like, I don't know, because I know Brooke got a lot of press when she came out, but Lily just kind of outright was already out.
But yeah. Sometimes I think it's also the curse of country music is if you're like, blonde and pretty, you automatically get a head start above everybody else.
It's also, I think, I don't know, it's personal preference of how you want to market yourself as far as like, do you want to have press talking about things like that, of how Brooke like was like sharing all this press, and I think it was important for her to do so, of being like, hey, they wanted me to stay hidden, but I'm not going to anymore. But I think because Lily was already out too, it's like, okay, like, yeah, that's part of my story, but it's not like a thing where we're gonna put a press release out about it because there isn't a need for one. So I don't know, I feel like sometimes that's like a thing that can get attention, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but not everybody has to come out just to get the attention. Like, that's the thing. I don't know, I just felt like there for a while, at least last year, she was like really getting a lot of hype around like the CMA time last year, and then it just kind of like dropped off a little bit. And we were talking about last week about how just everyone's like, oh, there's not enough country music artists, or there's not enough females, or there's not enough this or that. It's just like, we're giving you proof right here that there is. It's just not being tapped into. So
I don't know. I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, Katie, favorite queer artist, go.
Oh, I was looking at what I was like, what else do we have that's left? Overall, there's too many. My brain went to Brooke Eden, but that's not like overall favorite, I guess. I don't know. I mean, thinking my brain's still on country music, so I do love Brooke Eden's music, but also Brothers Osborne, I guess, too. Okay. But
I just really wanted this chance to plug Chappell Roan because I'm in love with her. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's Midwest. Where is she from?
You can say she's from here.
Here.
Tennessee.
Oh.
Nashville.
I thought I've been seeing stuff on TikTok that says something about like Midwest.
That's because her album title is Fall and Rise of the Midwest Princess.
But she's not Midwest.
She's from Tennessee. No.
False advertisement. I'm Midwestern. South Dakota.
It's just because she has different like brand type things.
Okay.
She has different costumes. So like if you got like before each tour date, she listed like these are the mermaid dates, these are the Midwest princess dates, these are the red wine supernova dates.
Okay.
These are the so she has her different personas and you have to dress accordingly.
My knees really
but she's not coming to Nashville except for Bonnaroo, and I can't go to Sunday Bonnaroo, and all I wanted to do was sing Hot to Go with Chapel Rowan. But it's okay. It's okay. We're fine.
All right.
It's okay. We're fine.
This is already going
It's
way longer than
okay.
expected.
I'm fine.
So you were peaking so much today.
It's okay. I'm fine. Oh, she's from Missouri. My bad.
Okay, then she is Midwest.
So
she
has
Missouri South. And
here's
the
thing. If she has a whole song about like her mom in Tennessee, so that's why I just assumed she was from Tennessee.
Well, I didn't know that Andrea Swift was from Texas until Taylor mentioned it.
Oh, that's right.
So it could be like, yeah, your mom can be from a different state. Just because you were born in one state doesn't mean
no. It's like a love letter to Tennessee.
Oh, maybe she just loves Tennessee.
So
yeah, Missouri's Midwest for sure.
No, I know that.
Some people say it's Southern.
Nope.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Midwest. Anyways, we are going really long. I don't know how much is getting cut out of this. I have to
edit all of this.
So I just want to end before a little normal spiel at the end. Some local Nashville queer artist writers rounds / showcases. So our friend Christian Beach has one that's been going for when did that start? It's been going for a while now, but right? He does it every other Thursday at Frankie J's over in Germantown. It's called Out and Loud in the Round. You could follow him at Out, the letter N, Loud in the Round on Instagram to see the dates that there are shows. And then another one is Rainbow Queer Music Collective, which is rnbw.collective, and Instagram. I don't think they have like a consistent show schedule. They do a lot of things. I would say just go check them out on Instagram to see when their next show is.
Yes.
But I just want to shout out a couple of them local to Nashville to go check out and support.
Yeah, my sound effect.
Okay,
you should go check it out. Come support. So
yeah. And then you can also support us. You can support us at the Music Lens Podcast on all the things. You can email us, themusiclenspodcast@gmail.com if you have anything you'd like to share with us. Alex at Alex Allegra Music, myself at Katie Fee Music on all the things. And I think that's everything. Enjoy.
Closing the laptop. The episode is done. Have a great day, everyone.
I was going to say Happy Pride one more time.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Enjoy your Pride Month, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.